A homeless man, Jake, sits on a park bench, shivering in the cold. His clothes are worn, his hands calloused. Once an accomplished car engineer, a series of unfortunate events left him with nothing. Down the street, a sleek Tesla is stalled, hazard lights flashing. The driver, frustrated, steps out, trying to troubleshoot. It's Elon Musk, but Jake doesn't recognize him at first. Jake notices the struggle and approaches. "Need some help?" he asks. Elon looks up, surprised. "Yeah, the system's unresponsive. I've tried everything." Jake crouches beside the car, examining it. "Mind if I take a look?" Elon hesitates, but nods. Jake's hands move with practiced ease, tracing wires, testing connections. Within minutes, he pinpoints the issue and works swiftly. The car hums back to life. Elon watches, impressed. "You're good. What's your story?" Jake hesitates, then shrugs. "Used to be an engineer. Life took a turn, and here I am." Elon studies him for a moment. "You designed cars?" "Yeah," Jake nods. "Loved it. Until I lost everything." Elon pauses, thinking. "I have an idea. Meet me here tomorrow morning." Jake is skeptical, but agrees. The next day, a Tesla pulls up, and Elon steps out. "Hop in," he says. Jake, uncertain but curious, gets in. They drive to Tesla's headquarters. Inside, Elon introduces him to a team. "This is Jake. He's got talent. Let's see what he can do." They hand Jake a problem to solve, an issue, with a prototype. Within minutes, he identifies a solution. The engineers exchange looks. Elon smiles. "Welcome to the team, Jake." Jake is speechless. A night ago, he had nothing. Now, he has a second chance. Tears well up in his eyes. "Thank you," he whispers. Elon pats his shoulder. "You earned it." Jake sits in stunned silence as the reality sinks in. The team welcomes him warmly, handing him a badge and showing him around. He can't believe it. Yesterday he was sleeping on a bench, and today he's walking through the halls of Tesla's headquarters. His mind races. Is this real? Will it last? Elon notices Jake's hesitation. "You've got the skills. All you need is a fresh start," he says. Jake nods, determined. He throws himself into the work, solving problems with the precision of a man who never forgot his craft. Days turn into weeks, and soon his ideas begin making an impact. His past no longer defines him, his future does. One afternoon, Elon calls him into his office. "I want you to lead a new project," he says. Jake's eyes widen. "Me?" Elon grins. "You proved yourself. Now, it's time to show the world what you can do." Tears threaten to fall, but Jake holds them back. The man who had nothing now has everything, a purpose, a team, and a future. And it all started with one act of kindness. Jake throws himself into his new role with everything he has. Every day feels like a dream, collaborating with brilliant minds, working on cutting-edge technology, and proving to himself that he still belongs in this world. Despite the challenges, he thrives. His experience, once buried under years of hardship, resurfaces with a clarity that surprises even him. Late nights become the norm, but Jake doesn't mind. He's designing, problem-solving, innovating. And for the first time in years, he feels alive. His co-workers admire his dedication, and soon whispers circulate around the office about the new guy who came out of nowhere. But Jake doesn't correct them. He doesn't want sympathy, only the chance to prove himself. One evening, Elon finds Jake still at his desk, sketching out an idea. "You don't go home, do you?" Elon jokes. Jake chuckles. "Kind of getting used to having a home again." Elon sits down across from him, glancing at his notes. "What are you working on?" Jake hesitates before explaining. "I've been thinking about efficiency and battery cooling. If we tweak this structure here, we might extend battery life and improve performance." Elon raises an eyebrow, impressed. This could actually work. The next day, Jake presents his idea to the team. Engineers scrutinize his design, running simulations and tests. Days later, the results are in. His idea works. It's a breakthrough. The team applauds, and Elon personally congratulates him. "You just changed the game, Jake." Word spreads quickly. Executives take notice. Jake is no longer just the guy Elon brought in. He's a rising star. But despite the success, he never forgets where he came from. One weekend, Jake returns to the very park where he once slept. He sits on the same bench, watching people pass by. A man, wrapped in an old jacket, shivers nearby. Jake stands, walks over, and offers his own coat. "You warm enough?" he asks. The man looks up, startled. I'm fine." Jake smiles, recognizing the look of pride masking struggle. He sits down beside him. "I used to be where you are. Sometimes one chance is all it takes." The man stares at him, skeptical but intrigued. Jake reaches into his pocket and hands him a card. "If you ever want a fresh start, call me." As Jake walks away, he glances back. The man is still holding the card, staring at it as if it's a lifeline. Back at Tesla, Jake continues climbing the ranks. He mentors new engineers, remembering how it felt to be given a second chance. Months later, he sees the man from the park again. This time at an interview in Tesla's lobby. Their eyes meet, and the man nods, determination shining through. Jake smiles, because sometimes all it takes is one act of kindness to change everything. The months pass quickly, and Jake's career soars. His innovations in battery efficiency not only improve Tesla's performance, but also gain attention from the industry. His name starts appearing in articles, his work referenced in technical journals. Yet, despite his success, he never loses sight of his journey. One evening, Elon invites Jake to a private meeting. "We're expanding a new division," Elon explains. "I want you to lead it." Jake's breath catches. "Lead? As in, run an entire division?" Elon nods. "You've proven yourself. You have vision, creativity, and the drive to push limits. This could be your chance to build something truly revolutionary." Jake hesitates, old doubts creeping in. "I don't know if I'm ready for that kind of responsibility." Elon leans forward. "Neither was I when I started Tesla. But the right people find a way." After a long night of contemplation, Jake accepts. The following weeks are a whirlwind of hiring, strategizing, and designing. His division focuses on sustainable energy, solutions, something he had dreamed of working on long before his life took a downward turn. He hires not just experienced engineers, but also people who, like him, needed a second chance. Talented minds overlooked by the industry because of their pasts. One day, as Jake walks through the office, he spots a familiar face. The man from the park, the one he had given his card to, now sits at a desk, poring over blueprints. Jake approaches, and the man looks up. "Didn't think I'd see you again," he says with a small smile. Jake grins. "How's the first week?" The man exhales, shaking his head. "Overwhelming, but in the best way." Jake nods, understanding. "It gets easier. Just keep going." The division grows rapidly, and under Jake's leadership, they develop groundbreaking energy solutions. He finds himself speaking at conferences, shaking hands with world leaders, and standing beside Elon at major unveilings. But through it all, he remains humble, never forgetting the cold nights on the streets or the feeling of hopelessness. One day, as he looks out from his office window at the bustling city below, he reflects on his journey. A year ago, he had nothing. Now, he's shaping the future of technology. Elon walks in, glancing at him. Thinking about the past? Jake chuckles. A little. It's crazy how life can change. Elon smirks. It usually changes for people who refuse to give up. Jake nods, determination in his eyes. He isn't just surviving anymore. He's thriving. And he's going to make sure others get the same chance he did. Because kindness, resilience, and belief can transform lives. And Jake? He's living proof of that. Years pass, and Jake's reputation solidifies. His division at Tesla doesn't just succeed, it revolutionizes the industry. Under his leadership, they develop next-generation energy storage systems, making electric vehicles more efficient and sustainable. His name becomes synonymous with innovation, and industry leaders seek his advice. But despite his rise, he remains grounded, always remembering where he came from. One day, he receives an unexpected invitation, a keynote speech at a global engineering summit. The invitation is prestigious. Only the most influential minds in technology are asked to speak. As he steps onto the massive stage, applause erupts. Looking out at the packed auditorium, he takes a deep breath, gripping the microphone. I wasn't always in rooms like this, he begins, his voice steady. A few years ago, I was living on the streets. I lost everything. My career, my home, my sense of purpose. But one moment of kindness changed everything. The audience listens in rapt silence as he tells his story. Not just about Elon Musk giving him a chance, but about perseverance, the power of belief, and the importance of lifting others up. I stand here not because I was lucky, he continues, but because someone believed in me when I had nothing. And now, I make it my mission to believe in others. After the speech, people rush to speak with him. Journalists, engineers, business leaders, everyone is inspired by his journey. Offers for collaborations and investments flood in, but Jake has a bigger vision. Later that evening, as he sits in his office overlooking the city, Elon walks in. That speech was incredible, he says. Jake smiles. I meant every word. Elon leans against the desk. So, what's next for you? Jake pauses, knowing exactly what he wants. I want to start something bigger, a program to help struggling engineers, people who just need that one break, just like I did. Elon nods slowly. I was hoping you'd say that. Over the next year, Jake launches an initiative aimed at training and hiring talented individuals who've been overlooked. Former engineers, veterans, those who lost their way but never lost their passion. The program gains massive support, and soon other companies follow suit. One evening, as Jake walks through the training facility he founded, he sees a young woman hunched over a circuit board, frustration on her face. He recognizes the look. It's the same one he had when he thought his life was over. He kneels beside her. Need some help? She sighs. I just don't think I'm cut out for this. Jake smiles. Neither did I. But sometimes all it takes is one more try. She looks at him, uncertainty shifting into determination. She nods, picking up her tools again. Jake stands, watching as she gets back to work. He knows she'll make it. Because he did. And just like that, the cycle of second chances continues. Years pass, and Jake's impact only grows. His initiative, now called Second Chance Engineering, spreads across the country, then internationally. Companies partner with him, governments recognize his efforts, and thousands of engineers who once thought their careers were over find new opportunities. One day, while reviewing applications for the program, Jake notices a familiar name. His heart skips a beat. It's his former mentor, his first boss from the automotive industry, the one who believed in him years ago before life took a turn for the worse. But now, his mentor is struggling, laid off, financially drained, and unable to keep up with the rapidly evolving technology. He's reaching out for help. Jake doesn't hesitate. He arranges a meeting. When his old mentor walks into the office, his posture is heavy, his eyes tired. He hesitates when he sees Jake. "I wasn't sure. You'd remember me." Jake stands and extends his hand. "Are you kidding? You taught me everything." His mentor grips his hand tightly. "And now you're running the future." Jake shakes his head. "No, we're building it together." He brings his mentor into the program, ensuring he gets the training and resources needed to adapt to modern engineering advancements. Over time, the man who once gave Jake his first opportunity finds himself thriving again, proving that no one is ever truly beyond redemption. Meanwhile, Tesla continues to evolve, and Jake remains at the forefront of its innovations. Elon, now a close friend, often jokes, "One day, you're going to take my job." Jake laughs it off, but deep down, he knows his journey is just beginning. One evening, as he walks through the Tesla headquarters, he notices a janitor struggling to fix a cleaning machine. He stops, kneels down, and examines the issue. Within minutes, he finds the problem and repairs it. The janitor looks at him, surprised. "You didn't have to do that." Jake smiles. Sometimes, one act of kindness changes everything. As he walks away, he can't help but reflect on his own story. A broken man, once lost, given a second chance, and now he's paying it forward, again and again. Because in the end, success isn't just about what you achieve. It's about who you lift up along the way. Years go by, and Second Chance Engineering becomes more than just a program. It becomes a movement. The initiative expands into education, offering scholarships and training for aspiring engineers who lack the financial means to pursue their dreams. Jake works tirelessly, balancing his role at Tesla while overseeing his growing foundation. His story continues to inspire, and he is frequently invited to speak at universities, conferences, and even government panels discussing employment reforms and the future of sustainable technology. One day, Jake receives an invitation to a major event, an international summit on technological innovation. When he arrives, he's surprised to see not only world leaders and top executives, but also former students and employees who went through Second Chance Engineering. Many of them now run their own companies, lead research teams, or teach the next generation of engineers. During his speech, he looks out at the audience and takes a deep breath. "Years ago, I was sleeping on a park bench, believing my life was over," he begins. "But one act of kindness changed everything. Not just for me, but for thousands of others. And that's the lesson I want to leave you with. Never underestimate the power of believing in someone." The audience erupts into applause. As he steps off the stage, he sees a familiar figure approaching, Elon Musk. Elon grins. "You sure you don't want to take my job?" Jake chuckles. I think I'm exactly where I'm meant to be. Elon nods. Good, because I have something big to discuss with you. A few days later, Jake finds himself sitting across from Elon in a private meeting. Tesla is expanding beyond cars, beyond energy. We're talking about global infrastructure, clean energy, advanced transportation, and even space exploration. Jake raises an eyebrow. And where do I fit into that? Elon leans forward. I want you to lead a new division, not just engineering. I want you to oversee the future of sustainable cities. Jake's heart races. This is beyond anything he ever imagined. You're serious? Elon smirks. Have I ever not been? Jake takes a deep breath. He thinks about everything. His past, his struggles, the people he's helped. And he realizes that this isn't just about him anymore. This is about creating a future where no one gets left behind. Finally, he looks up and nods. Let's build the future. Years later, standing on the balcony of a brand new sustainable city project he helped design, Jake watches as children play in a park powered by solar energy, as people thrive in an environment once thought impossible. Reporter approaches him.